Good morning, friends. It's Julie Norman, and today I'm going to show you a process of how I list, scan and list. But this is a stack of postcards that I got on my first YouTube auction, live auction, and it is from a reseller called Jackass Retro, and that's Matt, and I follow him. I think he follows me. I don't know. I think I mentioned this before, was that I wanted to support his channel by overpaying for the auction, and I did. I think these cost about 67 cents a card. Normally, if I was going to pick like a blind bunch of postcards, I would want to pay like a quarter. But he also said that these are good cards, and he's a seller, and he just didn't list them, and they are Florida. What I'm going to show you is my process in listing them. Normally I wouldn't list this many Florida postcards at once, but we're going to do it for the sake of going through a whole process. And I'm going to track and see, am I going to make a profit, or how long does it take to break even on this? First thing first is I like to sort these so that they are easy to list. And it'll make sense as we go along. All right, I have removed my busy background, so we'll just do this. So anyway, I'm going to put linen here. This is in the eras, and then this white border, I divided back, and then the chrome over here. And okay, this might look like it's a white border, but it is an actual linen. So that always goes into linen, even though it has a white border. Same with this. This has a white border, but the era is chrome. So this one it's smooth. So this is definitely a white border. This one feels like a chrome. Doesn't have the white border feel. Yeah, it's coated chrome. So that one is a chrome. Oh, here's a real photo. Put that there. And this usually doesn't take very long. I'm usually not explaining what I'm doing here. So I'm just basically just take a bunch. And sometimes I can just go, linen, linen, linen. So here's chrome, chrome. There's an exaggerated postcard. So there's a lot of chrome and linens in this bunch. This is a divided back, because even though it's not has the whole line here, but this is for your communication. And this is probably another divided. Usually you can tell the undivided from the front because it will have a writing tab, most likely. I don't think that one's worth much, but I'm going to list them all, even if I have to list them for $2. I mean, that's going to be my low bottom price with no offers. So this might be an undivided back because of the writing tab, and look at there. So we'll put it there. So my arrows go like that. And this one is a white border. This is an undivided, I believe. So you'll get to come along with me and see how the process works. If you are a reseller and already do this, maybe you can give me some tips, as I am less than a year into this. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know. I'm learning a lot too. And one of the things is I do watch a lot of videos, which has been very helpful. I've read some books. So there's a lot of ways you can educate yourself. I have not had the opportunity to go and meet other postcard people because, I live in Montana and we don't have any postcard clubs. There is a stamp club that I'm considering maybe going to. I think I met some of the people at an estate sale when I bought a bunch of stamps. And the reason why I bought that box of stamps was because there was a flyer in there, which was something that was really interesting. It was something I sold for like a good amount of money, and then I just haven't touched the stamps. So I'm kind of thinking of getting into the stamps. So if you are a philatelic person, let me know, and I'd love to know of any tips, and would you want to see any of that content here? Okay, chrome, chrome, chrome. Divided, and this is undivided. Okay, so this is actually, is it there? Okay, so when I list this, I always like to list the real photo postcards first. It's just my preference. So this will be first, and then I go from oldest to newest. And okay, so we could micro do this. I usually don't micro do this, but if this is all one state and there's a lot of them. So if there's like some of them in the same town, then if I notice it, St. Augustine, then I'm going to put them together. 67. So, okay, you postcard people, what would you say this is? Because it's not a chrome. It has like the paper feel, but it's 1967. I'm just going to say divided back. And now we've got, here are my white borders. I usually don't sort them micro like this, but I will show you why this could be advantageous to you. Down there. The next era is linen, and there's a lot of linen. Linens are not, they don't get a lot of love, and I wish they would, but St. Petersburg over here, Miami, oh, this is California, so that is not Florida. So keep in mind, this is just one way to do it, and there are so many other ways. So this one didn't have any other ones, so I'm just going to go and put these like that. Oh, sorry, where was that California one? I don't know. You know, it doesn't really matter. I'll show you what I do with cards that aren't supposed to be in that spot. Okay, and then we have the chromes. So a lot of the chromes have things on the back of where they are, and so I'm just not going to micro sort those. Okay, so now we have them all in their eras, and it will be easier to list. And now let's look at the process of scanning them. So I've got over here my Epson scanner. I'll pull it out. It is always plugged in. So here's the cord here to connect it. And I just plug that in, open this guy up, and open the drawer this much. Okay, I'm gonna downsize my windows. Okay, so push the power button. This is an ES402, and this has been a game changer for me. Here, let me get this more into the picture. And what you do is you take a bunch of postcards. Oh, get this little thing up. And put them like this, put them face down like this, and put them in the slot and adjust that. Now all of these are standard size. Okay, now we're getting out of the picture here. So all of these are standard size, and so I don't have to adjust them for like a continental. Just all I have to do is push this blue button, wait for it to catch up. It's exciting. And then on my screen pops up little information. Yeah, I just cleaned it for some reason. Oops, don't hit the scan. And see how it nicely comes here, and it will do a duplex. I don't know if you can see that on my screen, but right now you can see what's happening. Oh, I forgot to keep feeding. I'm explaining so much here. But you can see here there's that image. Okay. And now I'm going to do next. I'm going to make a special folder. I can save this. So I'm going to make, I know it's hard to see. It's a special folder here just for these videos. And it's going to be, and we're going to do Florida. Select the Florida folder and save it. So that is where all of the scans will go. And now it's going, working, and saving. And there they are. So I've got front and back. Let's look at the extra large. It was that simple. It took seconds. Okay, now let's do the whole stack. So I've got the stack here. And let me adjust this so you can see the scanning happening, the magic happening. Okay. You can't put too many in there at once, but here. If you do, it just doesn't fit. I mean, I've done it so it sits like that before. Oh. Sometimes it needs a little help. Where I've sat it like this before, and it'll just, feed it You'll see it as it goes. Maybe you can see a little bit of the screen. I'll bring the window down so you can see a little bit. I have the setting here so it will automatically scan front and back. It is an option. Before I did that, if the back was really light, like on real photo postcards, they wouldn't show you, it wouldn't always scan them. And sometimes you really, can't really see much on the back, but at least you have a back photo with a little light on it. And sometimes it wouldn't scan, it would scan part. Well, okay, that was another scanner. So you can see as it's coming out, I'm continually feeding. And sometimes I'll do this while I'm halfway paying attention. It's no big deal if it stops either. And I'm gonna empty this tray while it's resting a second. Oh, it needs, but sometimes it gets stuck. And sometimes it doesn't feed. So you might have like a really thick card or a card it doesn't want to feed. And another thing about this scanner is you never want to do stuff with glitter on it. Or something that will scratch the lens on it there. So I know that some sellers will put a carrier, like I don't know if you use a postcard cover, a plastic sleeve or something, but to scan through things with glitter. I have not done that yet. So, okay, here's another thing. You want to make sure that this is about the size of your postcard here, because you can pull it all the way out to do documents. And if you have it way too far out, it'll just make a mess. Here, let me show you. So it might push the cards underneath, and then you're not in order anymore. I don't know if it'll make a mess. Oh, I got to make sure to feed more. Okay, it's not going to do it for me, of course, but I'm going to go put that back. So it just takes a little practice. It's very slick, but when I started out, I used a flatbed scanner because that's what I had, and the scans were really nice, but you can only do a couple at a time, and it wouldn't always pick up all the background. Like if they had something like this, it would often cut this part off because they just saw it as not part of the picture. So it was a pain. And look at how fast this works on this stack of postcards. I don't remember how many there is. I'll put the number up above. So, yep, here we are into the chromes now. And you put them face down like that, upside down and backwards. I mean, isn't that how sometimes people feel their life is going? But it's okay, because it comes out all right. I'm going to pull these out. There we go, and that's the last of them. Isn't this great? I mean, it takes seconds. I have it on, I don't have it on the lowest resolution because sometimes if you want a zoom in picture of, like focus in on a zoom in, you don't want it to not be a good resolution. And you don't want them too big so you have so much, you're using so much space in your computer. Alright. This is so satisfying. I love doing this. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. And here goes the last one. And the last one is going to show us the jam. Okay, so this last one did not go through, so I always very carefully pull that out. And I don't know why this one didn't want to. Oh, what's wrong? Oh, the cord. That cord is in the way. There we go. So if this one doesn't feed through, I will turn it upside down. And you just hit the blue button. Oh, no, didn't like it that way. And then if that one doesn't go through, then I will put it backwards. So the picture's coming out. It might be because it's bent. Nope, it doesn't really like this card. Sorry. So I'm just going to hit this button to say I'm done. And okay, normally if that would happen, and this is just a Chrome card, it's not anything special, I would just put it in my antique since I forget about it. But because this is, I'm going to go through this whole process with you, that I'm going to actually take a picture of this at the end here. Okay, so I'm just going to here, next, save this batch in the Florida scan, so that's going to save. It's going to take a little bit longer for this batch to save. You can look at my screen. I know it's a weird angle because my Osmo does that. But what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to take my phone and scan that. And I can't do that right now because I'm using my phone to record. Here, I'll show you if I can. So there it is. So I'm using it to control what my Osmo sees. So like that. Okay. Anyways, so I'm going to take a picture of this with my phone because my scanner didn't like it. I don't know why. It's just a Chrome. Maybe it's because it's bent. I don't know. I've had worse bent ones. Who knows? Maybe it was the sticker in the back. Whatever. But because I'll put that extra effort in. So anyways, we just scanned this whole stack of Florida cards plus one California in just that amount of time. I mean, it wasn't that long. So that's pretty nice. And the next time you see these, it's going to be when I list them, how I list them all together and why all this sorting really helped to make it quick. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this, and I hope you have a joyful day. Goodbye.